Hello, this is the 74th lecture in the Semantic SEO course. In this lecture, we will try to understand the connection between our heading, anchor text, and the next article's title, and also the H1. As you see, the phrases or the question format that we are using directly in our heading and in our anchor text, and also inside our next targeted article's title and the H1, they are exactly the same. Another thing is that whatever answer we give in this area, it will be expanded further with a consistency. Again, and one more time, I am telling that if you here tell 3.8 and if you tell 3 point something else, let's say, it means that you are writing random articles and search engine is able to understand it. We are constructing a knowledge base in the form of content, which is called semantic content network, which means everything is aligned and they are consistent and they're aligning together. So in this case, if you look at this part, you will realize that first we give the first possible answer, or let's say the most important specific answer here, but directly here we actually mention a few things like the US National Academies of the Sciences or Engineering and the Medicine. So the information that we, or let's say whatever we give inside this methodology, it is reflected in this area, and ounce, gallon, liter, sweet, or the urine, these are also mentioned in this part. Then we tell in the first sentence or the first sentence article methodology, we directly tell give the answer, sorry for this area, give the answer directly based on organization. Mention a second organization for a second possible answer variation after the first sentence. So this is the institution that we have chosen. Actually, I have chosen it because it's the most important institution that appeared together with this specific topic and it is referenced the most. That's why I am going with the consensus at the beginning. Once I give it, this is the second one, and the second one has to give a different answer than the first one. If they gives the same answer, just don't. Or if you really want to mention it, you can mention it, but then the answer will be delayed. To be able to give the answer earlier at the earliest point, I use the correct section as well. And inside the second one, we actually one more time we are using cups, gallons, or liters, or ounces, etc. We use abbreviation of the specific institution as well. Then we also continue to actually give the factors or internal and external factors for it and recommended water intake per day. So in this case, actually, you can realize that water intake or different types of phrases or closely related other types of phrases, they're actually used inside this area too. And everything has been connected back to the hydration or water percentage in humans as well, because water percentage of the humans, and whether male, female, or senior, or junior, or child, etc., it will be connected back to the water, let's say daily water intake. One more thing is that in terms of the contextual coverage and the weight of the section in the contextual flow, we should understand one important thing. And when you look at this section, since this is the supplementary content here, we give just one single answer. We don't go deeper, but when it comes to here, we even give multiple sources. We even give the most possible or the best optimum value for pregnant women. Imagine that you give the pregnant woman, but also the wrong information that is accepted before, like 8 multiplied 8 rule, which is coming from 1945 from this specific institution based on these specific values. And we directly tell that it's actually not correct anymore too. On average, 20% of the water comes from the fluids you eat, we directly tell, and we give also different types of, let's say, water intake sources for ourselves too. Then we connect everything to the water percentage in the human bodies, and then we give the water's benefits and the functions one more time. And from here, we actually give further researches by connecting everything to the dehydration. We explain what happens when you actually don't drink enough level of water. And here we give a unique image with branding as well. So in the next section, we directly ask what affects daily water needs. And in this area, as you see, we use a kind of let's say heat words in the format of listing. You should understand that whenever we use the word climate inside the list, the search engine will be taking this HTML list, and there are researches for that. They just create the lists and the HTML tables on the web to understand the context and the informativeness of the list. So you will realize that whenever we talk about climate or something like this, water always inside the answer section. Whenever you use the water and certain type of context which is connected to this H2, it means that this list will be making sense. If you skip the context terms like water or hydration, dehydration, water need, daily water take, etc., if you skip some of these things, it means that this specific list item will be disconnected to the rest. That's why we will always need to be using this specific context terms inside these sections as much as possible too. If you look at this part, for instance, when we use representative questions like this, how much water should adult drink? Here we tell give the exact definitive answer with a numeric value directly. And one more time, we actually use the structure above. We give a specific type of answer directly by mentioning certain types of resources. If you come here too, you will always see numeric value in the first sentence. The reason that we are using the numeric values in the first sentences as much as possible is that using the predictive information retrieval thresholds, we want to give the answer earlier so that we can actually stay relevant. And lastly, at least for this lecture, to show some of the fundamentals, you will realize that if I use a kind of H2 or a kind of representative, let's say H2 like this, and if there is a kind of certain plurality in it, and if we use a kind of list after that, mostly I use these type of images as well. Basically, creating these images so easy. Just your logo, background, and certain type of, let's say, listings. And these are already coming from here. So it gives us actually a visual communication chance. If you're able to use unique images, multiple unique images in a communicative way with your let's say with the search engine, by reflecting the context, it will be a signal also for further quality as well. In the next lecture, we will continue to examine this specific article. Then we will see two more to examine others as well. Thank you.